Hello everyone, welcome back to another Spring Boot episode. Today, let's learn how to make a Spring Boot app with Data JPA and MVC. We will be using a previous example for this. Alright, here we have made a controller class with avatar as the controller and added a request mapping for slash, and we made a string home method which returns the home JSP. Alright, now first thing, let's make a new class. We'll make a new, in the Java folder, new Java class. We'll call this avatar and press enter. And next thing, in the avatar class, we'll have some variables. Private int AID will be the first variable, then we'll have another one, private string a name, like this. And next we'll generate getters and setters for our variables. You select both and say OK. And after that we'll have another thing, we'll generate a toString method like this and press OK. We save this, and next thing what we are doing here is we are doing a JPA application. So for this we need to have these dependencies. We need to have this dependency called org spring framework.boot artifact id spring boot starter data JPA. I have given the dependency in the POM XML for you to understand it by looking at it. And the next thing, we'll be using a database, an inbuilt database for this example. We'll be using H2. For the H2, I have given dependency with the group ID com.h2 database and artifact ID h2 and a runtime and the scope as runtime. So this is the pom.xml file that I've made so far. Okay. Next thing, I have added some characters inside the application properties folder. Application properties, I have added spring.h2 console enabled equals true, and a spring data source URL equals to jdbc colon h2 colon mem and colon, and I've given a name for our database as testdb. And the next thing, I have made a driver class name as org-h2 driver. And after that, the data source username will be SA and the data source password will be password. These are given in the application properties by me. Alright, the next thing, we have our avatar class, we have our avatar controller. In the home, we may have a form tag inside our home.jsp. We say form action. Form action will be equals to add avatar, and after that we'll have a input field, input type equals to text, and we'll have a name as AID that was given in the avatar class. And after that we'll have a break tag. Next thing, we'll have another input tag, input type equals to text, and the name will be a name, and after that we'll have another break tag, and later on we'll have another input field for type equals submit, like this. We close this, and have another br tag, and after that we'll close the form like this. Okay, let's save this. And the next thing, let's go to our avatar controller class. We have given request mapping for slash that loads the home.jsp. We'll give another request mapping. We say request mapping add avatar like this. And the next thing, we'll have a public string add avatar method, and it will return our home.jsp. Alright, the next thing, we have finished things in the pom.xml file. We have our application properties, it's finished. Alright, then we have our avatar class, and now the avatar controller in the home.jsp I have added add avatar action, which links to this avatar controller's request mapping and avatar. And we have given here inside the add avatar method, we say avatar. We'll have our avatar class. We cut our avatar class from here and paste it here. And now here inside the request mapping, we say avatar like this. We cut this from here and paste it inside our main method. And here we remove this and we say avatar. And here we create a class avatar inside our controller, and here we'll have our private int aid, private string a name, and we have our getters and setters. And we'll have our toString method also like this. We save this. Let's go to the avatar controller class, and here we return our home. Okay, now the avatar class is over, and the avatar alright, we have made our action at the avatar class, and now we'll be having a new class. We'll have a avatar repo class. We'll have an avatar repository class created. No, not a class. We'll make this an interface. We say interface here. Avatar repo extends CRUD repository just like this. We save this. We get our CRUD repository from our JPA dependency like this. Okay, now in the avatar class, on top of our avatar, we say add entity like this, and over the private int AID we say ID at ID like this. Let's save everything. Now what we'll do is in the request mapping add the avatar. Inside this, before in the avatar control class, on top of the inside the method we say avatar repo avatar repo like this, and you must take our avatar repo inside our Java class. Here is save this, and let's and inside here we say avatar repo and initialize our avatar repo like this, importer, and we'll make it like this, and inside the request mapping we say avatar repo dot save to save our avatar objects like this, and we save this. Now everything's ready to do our function we are going to do now. Let's now run our application, our first project application like this. And let's go to the browser now. In the browser we say localhost 8080. And now here in the CRUD repository we say our avatar class and pass our avatar class and the type of our ID as integer. We save this and let's restart our application. Okay, everything's looking alright. Let's go to the browser and relaunch our page. Alright, now in the avatar class we'll have an entity, an ID over avatar and AID like this. Now let's run our first application. Everything's working fine. Let's go to the browser, and here in localhost 8080 we get our form. And one thing also, we'll go to localhost 8080 slash h2 hyphen console, and it brings you to our h2 database login. We have given the username as SA, and we'll give the password as password like I provided it, and let's test connection for this. We get test successful, and here we give the password and connect. Whoa, this is very fascinating. We have got an avatar database created. Let's run this, and we get our AID and A name just like that. That means our CRUD operation worked. Now our database installation process was success. As provided here, we have made a AID and A name, and the table name is avatar, and the AID and A name are variables inside our avatar database. Let's see the magic of Spring now. Let's see what happens when we type something and submit this. Let's give ID of 11 and give the name as Kulesh 7 and say submit. Alright, before doing that, we'll go to our avatar repo, and here we have to put auto while before the avatar repo, just like this. Now let's save and relaunch our application. We'll go to our main page. We'll go to localhost 8080 and press enter. Let's go to H2 database also with the password and connect, and let's open our avatar. Now let's say give the ID as 11 and the name as Kulesh 7 and say submit. And something happened. Let's go to our database and run our select query. When we run this, we get 11 and Kulesh 7 inside our database. That's the magic of Spring. We can have another record. Let's say 14 some Sandman and submit. And when we say this, we get 14 Sandman. Right guys, this is the way to make an application out of JPA and H2 database inside our Spring Boot framework. I hope you learned a valuable lesson from me, and now today's lesson is over, and I'll see you in another video, and in the next videos you will be learning about REST from me. And thank you.